Libra and collective. Step into my parlor, make yourself comfortable. We're going to have quite a download coming in here. It's been a minute since I've had this much information pour in for a download. And I was like, wow, the Libra collective is really talkative. And then I realized that this particular lunar cycle ties back to the Ring of Fire solar eclipse that went down in the sign of Libra back in October 2024. Not only that, but Libra is holding down the South Node position at that time. This particular lunar cycle that was ushered in with the Pisces new moon on the 27th of February culminates with the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo that is now holding down the South Node position. So when I realized this and I sort of connected those dots, I knew this wasn't just a download for Libra, though those with strong, prominent Libra placements, prominent placements in the seventh house, or if you're an Aries rising, that makes you a Libra descendant, will probably have a lot of resonance with this message. But there's something here for all of the collective. So you're all welcome. You're all always welcome at any time. But I really wanted you to know that this really is a download for the collective as a whole. And I have a ton of channeled messages. So I need to bring this information in first before we actually get to the cards. We're going to open it up with a little story hour here, okay? So the first thing that I got when I dropped into your energy was first and last and always. And those in the know that first and last and always is a classic album. It's sort of attributed to the goth genre, although Andrew Eldritch really disliked that because actually Sisters of Mercy, the band who is responsible for that album, never wanted to be associated with the goth scene. And in fact, there was a whole splitting up of the band in relation to this because they sort of got categorized as a goth band. And as a result, the guitarist left the band and the band really became disbanded shortly after the release of this album, First and Last and Always, and yet is considered one of the goth classics, okay? And I really wanted to also look at that particular song, the lyrics, because anytime I get a channeled message like that, especially if there's a song connected, I always go and look at the lyrics for clues. I will post the full lyrics to the song in the comments section for you all, so you can check that out if you feel drawn to. But I was really drawn to a specific lyric that came through that I think sort of sums everything up that's coming in for your download. First and Last and Always is the name of the album, but there was also a title track on the album by the same name. And the lyric I was drawn to says, see a place and a dream of the dead days, a following of lost and blind. Cross my heart with silver. Here's the key behind. Seems like 25 years of ever after evermore, more. Seems I wore this face for you far too long before. First and last and always, my calling, my time. First and last and always, till the end of time. First and last and always, mine. Now, there's a few things that really stood out for me in relation to this download. The first thing that really stood out to me in terms of these lyrics was silver, the word silver specifically. And you might be like, well, why does silver stand out so much? Well, the reason why silver stood out to me so much is because I received a little package from a dear friend of mine, Jen Ray, who sent me a deck for the channel. And it is the gold foil tarot, okay? And I'm going to use it in this read. Really cool deck, okay? Check out the artwork on the back. Notice the eye of protection there in the center. And on the other side of the box, we have the Fool. So there is a brand new chapter that's opening up for you, Libra. This is the start of the road opening here, where the road rises up to meet you and you got the wind at your back. But there is a little energy trailing behind here. These cards are just absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to use them. They are slippery, though. So slippery, because I did a pre-shuffle for them. All right. So just be aware of this. This is the back, really cool. Oh, look at that. There's your miraculous chalice, Libra. This has been promised to you for a while. So this is the start of the miraculous chalice coming in for you with the Ace of Cups. Aren't they cool? But you'll notice with this deck, there's sort of like a little bit of optical illusion. The cards are really slippery. They're also brand new. I mean, that will shift a little bit with use and time, but they're brand new. So I feel like this is a brand new opening coming in for you, Libra. But the fact that they're gold, okay, really this word silver stood out to me. So silver wards against vampires and werewolves and shapeshifters, evil spirits, negative energy, illness, psychic attack, and supernatural threats. Silver is associated with the moon's light, and it's also considered to be more powerful when it's worn in jewelry or as an amulet. Now, this was significant too. Before this even came in today, I was like, oh, what jewelry do I want to put on? And I was very drawn to put on these silver cobra earrings that were actually gifted to me by member Star Tree Dancer. Thank you for these. I love these. And that's quite interesting in and of itself, right? Because the snake is associated with the direction south on the medicine wheel. And we are in the year of the serpent. And the snake is all about imbibing a little bit of the poison to arrive at the cure. 7-Eleven on the clock, okay? 7-Eleven is a combo that's been coming in a lot lately. I'm going to have to look up what it has to say around that angel number. You might want to check that out for yourself too. Where you feel drawn to look may be different than where I feel drawn to look. And it might have a specific message for you, okay? But we know that's some good luck energy coming in. So I do feel like you have luck on your side in relation to this kind of tricky sort of psychically draining, malintent kind of energy here. There is something you're transmuting, because I think of gold, and gold is all about that alchemy. It is about that transmutation. Now, it's interesting because the gold directly ties into this album, First and Last and Always by the Sisters of Mercy. It's an album that peaked for them at number 13 on the UK album charts, number 13 being significant. Kind of funny too, because number 13 has been sort of touted as a bad luck day. But the reality is, before it was a bad luck day, it was considered to be a day of great blessing, and it was connected to Freya, goddess Freya. Freya's day is Friday the 13th. So there's a really kind of tongue-in-cheek, interesting energy that's sort of weaving through your download, where it's like, not all is as it seems. 8:44 on the clock, double eights. See, there's something that's about to manifest for you, Libra, and it's going to take you by surprise. This is going to bring on a tower. The tower is an awakening tower. It's a tower that brings luck with it. 16, you break it down, it's 7, 7-11. Something's coming into alignment for you that may really shock you. It may bring a tower to others. It could bring a tower to some particular vampires, werewolves, and shapeshifter energies that you have been dealing with. You may have been dealing with this kind of energy coming at you. There may be people that you know, alchemists that you know, that perhaps have been trying to thwart you in some way. All right. So this is interesting, because back to the Sisters of Mercy. I don't want to go too far down that track. We'll get into more of that with the read when we actually pull out the cards here. But by the time the 80s came to a close, this album, First and Last and Always, went gold for the Sisters of Mercy. Okay. It's interesting when I think of gold as well, because there is another treasure of the Tuatha De Danann, and we haven't gone into that here yet, but there will be more coming in around this, and that is the gold of the Tuatha De Danann, 1013 on the clock, okay? And the gold of the Tuatha De Danann is sort of tricky to get your hands on here, but I feel like you got a little bit of fortune on your side. Now, the thing about gold, when we look at it alchemically, what it means metaphysically, gold is imperishable, okay? You cannot make it disappear. And it's also so malleable that you can shape it any way you wish. It's connected to solar deities. And in terms of the four treasures or jewels of the Tuatha De Danann, we got the Spear of Lu coming in with that. So I do feel like some power is about to be put in your hands to take action that will have you hitting the mark, okay? Lu is the god that is associated with the sun, that solar energy, that element of fire, that transformational force. So I do feel like whatever power is being put in your hands, Libra, it allows you to transform some kind of malevolent force, thwarting force that's sort of been blocking your road forward here, which is a very positive sign. Gold is also associated, of course, with alchemy. It's associated with wealth, and it is associated with the sun, as well as all solar deities. So when we think of that sun energy, we are thinking about happiness. We're thinking about your dreams coming to a place of fulfillment. We already saw bottom of the deck, you got the miraculous chalice coming through. So you're just about to receive some kind of divine intervention here. All right. Now, what was the album about? There was a lot that was going on with that particular album. First of all, Andrew Eldritch, the singer, had been in and out of the hospital. He had some problems, lining up some things on mirrors. And so he was dealing with some addiction. So you could be dealing with, a situation where there are people involved that maybe are struggling with addiction. You may be in recovery yourself and you've already overcome this. I say this because your energy came in with a goal. So there's something here you've already transmuted. But we also know there's some silver at play here, okay? So you are dealing with some energies that are more in this space of kind of, on the attack or trying to drain your energy. Also, I thought it was really significant. This one lyric said, seems like 25 years of ever after, ever more, more, more. Okay, so with that 25, of course, we're in 2025. So this comes into play quite strongly. Also, nine is one of the songs on that album. All these new moons have been coming in at 9 degrees, so a lot of connection points. 25 breaks down to 7. Again, the 7-11 message coming in. And also, you could be dealing with a situation that goes way back, way, way back. Andrew was also, aside from being in the middle of a recovery process himself, while this album was being put together, was dealing with his separation from a lover. And he was also, saying farewell to his bandmates, okay? Because the band totally disbanded. Everything went south after this album, okay? And it was already sort of in the making. The album was really kind of a combination of old band members and new band members and all that action. So all of these things are coming into play with you. And we also have to look at the fact that Venus is currently retrograde in Aries and Pisces. So this energy is going to be playing out where you have kind of old cycles, old scenarios sort of resurfacing. I feel for the purpose of transmutation for you, like you're really wrapping up a major cycle here. You may be wrapping up matters that go all the way back to the year 2000 here, Libra. So this is something to pay attention to. Now I'm going to bring in some names of interest. I'm going to bring in the names of the band members. So you want to pay attention to first names, last names here, okay? Either or could apply in your situation. But when I went to write down all my channel messages, this is like a a journal that I got at one of those little libraries, you know, where you can give a book and take a book, and a little free library I have around here. And it was obviously owned by somebody before me. You can see the difference in our writing. Here's my writing over here, and they had already written quite a few things down here. So I'm just going to read you off. They had written down some titles of books, but these could be other elements, other clues involved in your situation. And then I'll read off all these names I got here. I'll first start out with the names of the people that were in the band, Sisters of Mercy, and then I'll go into all the names that were written in association with these different titles that I feel are giving certain clues about what you're dealing with here. Let's deal with the titles that give you little clues, because it looks like you're going to get some kind of key. Now, I thought it was interesting. Cross my heart was silver. So it's almost like giving you this message like you need to protect your heart here, Libra. Something could be coming toward you that you really should protect your heart against. And there's a key that's hidden behind your heart. You know what I'm saying? That grants certain access, perhaps that whatever's coming toward you wants that key, wants access to. So this is something to be mindful of. All right, so here's the clues with these titles that were already written down in this book. An honest lie. Before she disappeared. Can I say dark matter? The family upstairs. Girl, wash your face. The housemaid. A killer's wife. Little women. Milk and honey. That's pretty wild, milk and honey. I used to work at a store called Milk and Honey that's in Sebastopol, California. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Not my father's son. 1,000 white women. Perks of being a wallflower. The swap. Give me a little destiny swap action being attempted there. Treating people well. Under the whispering door. And it gives me a sense like somebody like kind of listening at the door, like eavesdropping on others' conversations. Okay. The weird mother and yearbook. Okay. So yearbook, we think of back in high school, you could really be dealing with people from back in the day. Okay. Names of interest. So the first name could apply. The last name could apply. For members of Sisters of Mercy, Andrew Eldridge, Ben Christo, Kai, Patricia Morrison, Wayne Hussey, Gary Marks, Craig Adams, Ben Gunn, Andreas Brun, Tony James, Chris Catalyst. Something is like a catalyst in this situation. I feel like there's a catalyst that will be coming in this lunar cycle that really changes the landscape and changes the game, okay? Tim Buccino, Dylan Smith, Dan Donovan, Chris Sheehan, Adam Pearson, Mike Varjek, okay? Now for these names that were already written in this book, I got Taryn Fisher, Lisa Gardner, Travis Barker, Blake Crouch, Lisa Jewell, Rachel Hollins, Frida McFadden, Victor Methos, Louisa May Alcott, Rupi Carr, Alan Cumming, Jim Fergus, Stephen Chbosky, Robin Harding, Leah Berman, Jeremy Bernard, TJ Clune, Nicole Sloan, and Seth Rogen. 1944 on the clock with the reading of all these names. 19, again, represents the sun in tarot. So there is some kind of happiness coming in here for you. 44, that is a number of foundation for the future. It also breaks down to 8. So something that's going to bring you a lot of happiness is in the process of materializing here. But we know there's some oppositional energy at play. Big download, but I wanted to bring all of that in. 2020 on the clock, okay? Hindsight's always better than foresight, but in this case, a little foresight will be better than hindsight, okay? So yes, look at this, the pie night. So I do feel like you're getting your share of a particular pie, and it's sort of like a banner moment, something that you are meant to receive here. Maybe you haven't gotten your share of Libra, okay? I got just desserts energy coming in around this. Night energy is about a movement forward. So there is something that is coming towards you that is going to be just desserts, all right? Something that you should have already received. You didn't get your share, or something was manipulated here. And it will come into view for you during this particular lunar cycle. This is the start of it. Remember, these messages that come in are going to be playing out over time because it is the start of eclipse season with the culmination point here. So there's going to be details that are not evident right off the bat, what will come into view down the road. Yes, and see, there's the pie night on the split here. And we have the pyramid-headed bird. So there's some cycle here that goes way, way back. And look at that. There's something that's been digested repeatedly. It's sort of like a karmic loop. But that loop has been severed. So there's been some kind of disconnect here. And I do feel like, there's so much that came through in those lyrics about sort of being put in a particular box or labeled a certain way or expected to play a certain role. And there's something you've really cast off here because it's old and outdated. And I do feel that you have seen through a certain deception here, and now you're rising above these challenges. Also, with the pyramid energy, something is coming to a place of manifestation. There's something being drawn down here that is rooting in your material reality. And it will be protected, okay? Look at that new moon energy. We got the eye of protection there. Next new moon is coming in the sign of Aries, also at 9 degrees, just shortly after spring equinox here. So I feel like that's when you'll really realize that a particular karmic loop has been completely disrupted because there's something you're receiving here, and it's like a banner moment. There may be a particular night coming towards you that is giving you this opportunity or gifting this to you. I'm working with the Arcane BS deck here. Felt really drawn to that for you all. And let's see, just get sort of like an overarching theme here, and then we'll tap into more of the message with the gold foil tarot. All right, what do we got coming in here for Libra? What do we got coming in here during this lunar cycle for Libra? Also for the collective too as a whole, okay? I really do feel the collective can get some messages from this because of the particular eclipse cycle that's coming to a head with that Virgo full moon. So let's just see what we got coming in here for Libra. All right, bottom of the deck energy. All right, we got sex, witch, and octopus. So you see there's been some kind of really grabby, clingy energy here that you've had to cut off. You've had to transform this energy, and there's a need to have warding from this energy as well, because there's something here that has been having an effect of holding you back or holding you down. I think of octopus and I think of down at the bottom of the sea, they're not there bobbing along the surface. This could be a matter that's very deeply entrenched. And I do feel whatever this is wanted to hold you down, maybe even wanted to prevent you from breaching a certain barrier that had been put in place. We do see there was a need to cut this off. We got that stag energy there as well. Also, it's interesting that the antlers are coming out of the helmet. So that makes me think like protect your head. In terms of what came through with silver, this could be that there's been some energy directed trying to maybe block certain downloads you're getting, maybe block certain awareness you have, as block your sight as well, because it's also covering that third eye there. Okay, something to be aware of. Oh yeah, we got old Aunt Brenda here, is not wanting to transform this situation, is wanting to maintain control in a situation here, maybe trying to prevent you from receiving some kind of nourishment. But I feel like time is up with this. But before this really gets sort of sorted out, do expect a lot to kind of be reanimated here. The dead will be reanimated. Also, there may be like some old intimate connections and maybe people connected to those intimate connections resurfacing, coming back around. That may come in with that full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. All right, let's dive into it and get this overarching theme here. Oh, I love it. See, but you've got that rebirth energy coming in. It's a whole new sound. It's rebirth of slick. And I do feel like you're innovating as you move forward here. You don't have a plan. You're kind of playing it as you go. It's very improvisational. But there is a new beginning here coming in. And with that horn here, I do feel like this is judgment sounding in your favor, Libra. So this is some good news. Good news on the horizon, but that's not going to stop these old energies from coming around. Just as I said that, something landed on the floor. So let's check that out. What is landing on the floor here? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Well, it is the penis weasel. They may have had some power in their hands before. You may have been dealing with a particular character that was sort of hidden. Again, operating beneath the surface. Isn't that interesting? Like octopus found at the bottom of the sea, right? Now you got weasels found underground. All of this is energy that's been hidden. And I believe that is what gave them a certain amount of power. The fact that these forces, these elements were concealed, but see, now it's like they're being called out. And so it makes them impotent. It cuts off their potency here. And I do feel like whoever this energy is recognizing that something is shifting here. Yeah, I mean, they realize that something that they've been nurturing here, it could be an old grudge, is really outdated with a woman breastfeeding a VCR. Yeah, that approach isn't going to work anymore. I got that. Let me do one more round here, and then I'll do a cut of the deck, and we'll get into the tarot around this, get some more details. We got on the bottom of the deck here. Oh, yeah, you're free. You're ready to rock in the free world there with the shitty acoustic guitar guy. You're not chained anymore. So, yeah, you're getting free here. You're moving forward. I like this. And you're heading down the road with a song in your heart. It looks really good. Looks like you're also moving forward bravely into the unknown here. It's like you don't know what the future has in store, but you got a rose in your hand. So it looks like you're moving forward in a very different sort of way, maybe different than was anticipated as well. When I think of the rat there, I also think the rat was the first to greet the Buddha. So sometimes, people can look at a situation. In the case of the rat, a lot of people can have a certain perception of a rat, but rats are also very highly intuitive. They are very intellectual. They are very sharp. They know how to get their needs met. And they were the first to greet the Buddha. And with this sort of like rat trout energy, that reminds me of that sort of tempering energy. You're able to be on both land and sea here. So you're finding a little bit of a different flow. And there's somebody here that's been operating in sort of like concealment. that's been trying to figure out, well, what is your next move? What are you up to? Because they already recognize a certain power has left their hands. A certain power has left the building. And notice they got this skull there on their turbans. So it's like, yeah, time's up for this energy. They're having trouble tapping into what your next move is. With the cat there, this is like an energy that's been operating secretively, okay? Something that's been hidden. And you're moving in a new way. So there's that part, that lyric in the song that was about, playing a certain role for so long. And I feel like you're really casting that off. So people are just sort of like anticipating things based on an old identity, an old version of you, and they're not really understanding who you are now. So this is sort of like throwing them off the scent of a trail. But I do see you got a rose in your hand, Libra. Some of you may be born in the year of the rat, okay? This looks like you're getting beyond the thorns and you're arriving at the sweetness of the bloom. And look at what we got there. We got old rhubarb Tony. Okay, so Tony is a name that came up in the list of names. Tony could be significant in some way. This gives me the vibe of like a big emperor energy here. Rhubarb is associated with the planet Venus. So this makes me feel like you're finally getting an opportunity to, really sort of hold court over your own life here. There's some kind of leveling up to a position of power, power that has eluded you up to this point, power that was kept from you up to this point. I think you've been dealing with a cycle where maybe you felt really held back, felt thwarted. We're dealing with a lot of challenges, and something is transforming here. With the pterodactyl, I mean, this is a real old matter, okay? Something's been going on for a while, but you are getting certain knowledge about how to transcend this issue. And you could be aligning with an emperor as well. That could be very helpful in this situation. I mean, we do have that Fool energy that came in for you, and that's associated with Aries. So there could be an Aries connection. And we also have to look at the flip side of things. While Libra was in the South Node with that ring of fire solar eclipse that's coming to a culmination point in this cycle with the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse, we have to acknowledge that Aries was in the North Node. So I feel this is you getting the key you need that unlocks the road that takes you up to your North Node. And it all starts here. It was 32:22 on the clock. So yes, you're coming into alignment with someone or something here. It's a big change, and it's something that is overdue. It's been overdue for a long time. I see that. But there are sort of like hidden energies here that would like to sort of cut this off at the pass. But I feel like this is more than anything coming through as sort of a confirmation for you that with the goal coming in so strongly for you, there's something here you've already transformed. And an even bigger clue about this, I have to say, Jen Ray, who gave me this deck, is an Aries with Libra rising, okay? So yeah, it's just further confirmation that something is warded here for you, okay? Something is warded here for you. And also you may be receiving something from somebody that makes this possible, okay? Because I do got this feeling like you got somebody approaching you here, okay? Let me do a cut of the deck here, and then we'll dive into the tarot to get some further messages. All right, trust your instincts here, Libra. See, the transformation is already underway. There's already been some evolution that has happened here. And you already know if it looks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, okay? So you don't need to sort of digest something any further. You already know what needs to be transformed in this situation. That's well underway. Trust your instincts as you move forward here, especially with any opportunities that approach you, anybody coming around. If it doesn't feel right to you, respect that. Don't regret it, okay? Because not all doors are meant to be opened with the floppy key, right? And remember, you got a key. You got a key that is concealed in your heart, warded by silver. And you see, there's somebody here that wants entry into space of yours that they do not have permission to enter. And so you cannot let a certain energy in lest they do get a hold of a key, because currently they don't have access. You see what I mean? Trust your instincts about this. All right. Let's go ahead and get around these gold foil tarot cards here. It's going to be kind of wild shuffling them, because just in the pre-shuffle, they were extremely slippery. So I still feel like, you got to be aware of a particular slippery character or characters. And there is something here about it's a little tricky navigating this, but as long as you stay focused, you're well on your way. I mean, we know you're receiving your miraculous chalice here. That's the download that's been coming in for you for a while. So I will add that card to this video so you can easily access that download, maybe review it, because I do feel like that sort of download is what's coming in at this time. And we're going a little bit over for you just because it was such a major download, and also it has application for the collective, but we're not going to go too much more in depth here. I do want to get around these tarot cards here, bring in the gold energy just to get any further details for Libra. What does Libra need to know about this energy that's coming toward them, this transformation that is underway? What clues do you want to give Libra Spirit? What does Libra need? Ooh, see, something wants to try to take this out of your hands. I feel that. And there is a desire to sort of like cut this off at the pass. You might want to give yourself some kind of amulet. You might want to charge yourself up a silver amulet to just sort of symbolically ward those outside energies that have been interfering here. Feels like it's real old stuff. Yeah, look at that. So see, there's been some dirty pool in your situation with the 5 of Swords. You did deal with some kind of backstabbing, betrayal here. Somebody thought they got away with something, but I feel like there's been 2 here that really have suffered as a result of what one selfish person did here. Aren't these cards cool? Isn't that cool? I love the way that the light plays off the details here. Really neat. There's Spanish at the top here. It's interesting because on members, I've been getting some downloads coming in around like Curandissimo. So there could be a connection there, somebody who works within those traditions involved, okay? Putting that energy in. They're really slippery. These cards are so slippery. These cards are so slippery. They'll take some time. Take some time. Take your time, Libra, okay? Don't be in such a rush. Don't be in such a rush, all right? Really pay attention. If you need time to sort of like think about your moves, do so. Yeah, because I see with the 5 of Pentacles here, see, 2 really did get injured in a situation here. 2 were on the losing end in this situation. That's very clear. Look at this, Lovers on the bottom of the deck there. So something's been held up at the crossroads. There could be a Gemini in connection with this. Also, we got Jupiter in Gemini right now. So I do feel like where there has been some kind of loss, or there's been some kind of separation or something went awry, especially where 2 people were affected. I feel like there is some kind of communication coming in to illuminate matters here. What caused this loss? Okay. Ooh, a little attempt to block the throat chakra there. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. These are so slippery. Yeah, really, you're dealing with some real slippery characters, all right? So you're going to have to really pay attention to who's coming at you, how they're coming at you, and trust your instincts here, okay? Because I see that if these energies had it their way, you would be on the losing end here, that you're transforming this. All right. I guess that's what we're going to work with here. Now we're going to get some details. Whoa. See, I feel like this is kind of the energy, like you've been working to pull things together, and just as you pull things together, something tries to make it all come undone. Oh, a particular high priestess, perhaps? Could a high priestess have their hand in this? High priestess, that particular alchemist here at work, associated with all the water signs there. All right, I'm not going to look at this card yet because we do have this energy that's crossing this Five of Pentacles, and that's face down. Let's see what we got here. It's sort of like they separated themselves in two piles too, which I feel is very interesting. So Six of Swords in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, Magician in reverse, Justice in reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse. So you see, this is a situation that hasn't wanted you to be able to move forward. It's a situation where somebody has been trying to hold you back. And this was related to some kind of betrayal. But with the Five of Swords in reverse, I feel like you became aware of it. And when you became aware of it, you stopped working with this person. You cut this off because you knew that there was something manipulative at play. Now, what was at work here? Well, what was at work is somebody was trying to uproot your sense of security here. And with that, we got the Magician coming in. Again, it's another Gemini indication. You could have been dealing with a Gemini in this situation. They wanted to throw your scales out of balance with the Justice in reverse. And they wanted to get you trapped, held up, caught up, stuck at the crossroads with the Eight of Swords, perhaps even confused, not knowing what to do, not understanding what was going on really in your head. But see, it's in reverse. So you've already sprung the lock here. Now, looking over here, we get some more details about who could have been involved in this situation. Well, we got a Page of Wands in reverse, okay? So again, maybe even somebody that uses their words in a very manipulative way to make you think that they're on your side when they're actually not. We got fire sign energy coming in there. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, strong Sagittarian card. And with this, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. What was the aim? To try to burden you with the cross position 10 of Wands. Try to burden you, weigh you down, get you hung up, but you've sprung a lock on this. See, you set yourself free. You're not hung up here. You've overcome this. Hangman, Pisces energy coming in there, okay? And we got a couple Pisces indications out here as well. What do we got here? Ooh, King of Swords in reverse. Mean, nasty energy, real cold, cruel energy here. Could be an ex, okay? Could be an ex you're connected to. Could be a Virgo. Could be an Aquarius. All right? Really strong Aquarian, Virgo card there. Could also be Gemini. We have quite a few Gemini indications. Okay? You could have had a Libra. It was causing problems for you too. It could have been a Libra on Libra infraction here. Okay. Just to be fair, it's not really the way I'm reading the energy, but I'm going to bring it in just in case. There might be some of you that were dealing with a character like that. Now, what is crossing this Five of Pentacles? Ooh! Yay, good times, come on. Thank you. Let's enjoy the world of tarot. Yeah, you transmuted this. All right. 44, 44 on the clock, double 8, 16. This is going to be a tower for these people. Whoever was thwarting you, trying to hold you back, causing you loss, this energy is whipping back around on them. 44, 55 on the clock. This change is coming. That time is up. This is coming in for you. You're going to be so grateful here. You're going to be so grateful here. Okay, so it's time for you to enjoy. It's time for you to have a good time. All right. There's some test you're passing here. You transmuted some kind of energy. Let's go ahead and do a cut of the deck. Just don't get caught up, okay? If something comes back around this cycle and you feel the least bit off about it, you better trust that. I don't care how much you want to like soften around it or let this in. I don't care how far back you go with someone. If it feels wrong, it feels wrong. You better trust that, or else you could really sabotage yourself. Because it looks to me like you're home free. All right, something that was an injustice is being righted here. Cut of the deck. What do we got? Ooh, we got a King of Wands. Okay, so here's a fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Know what's on the other side there? Wow. 10 of Cups. All right. So you could be dealing with a fire sign. I also feel like this is you really in your independent energy. Some kind of powers being put back in your hands. It's very important for you to act wisely. I'm curious, what's behind this 10 of Cups? 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Don't fumble it now. This is easy peasy. All you have to do is just do whatever you've been doing. Looks like you moved away from something. You set yourself free. Looks like it's been real rough going, but now's the time. Those tables are about to turn. It was 46, 44 on the clock. So what was undone unjustly is coming back together. And whoever was interfering is going to find a little bit of perhaps sympathetic understanding by being put in the position that they put you in.